Hi, my name is Tess Lord and I'm a summer naturalist here at the Dorothy Pico Nature Center. Today for Outdoor Skills, I'll be teaching you the basics of camping. Before you start your camping adventure, it's important to know a little bit about where you're going to go camping. So there are some great apps that will tell you where some campsites are, and they have ratings on them, and that's a great opportunity for you to look at your campsite and explore a little bit more. Many campsites request that you pre-register to camp there before arriving, and so it's important to get in contact with the park that you'll be staying in or wherever you'll be to make sure that you're allowed to camp there. Here at many of our camps in Woodbury County, it's first come, first serve. So if you're the first to arrive and claim the spot, then you have that, and you cannot register for the spot and reserve it before you get there. If you're a beginning camper, it's important not to start too big. I would recommend starting small for like a short weekend trip and then working your way up. And as you go, you'll learn all the tips and tricks that I can't necessarily teach you. I will be talking to you guys about the camping necessities that I definitely recommend bringing along. And to start off, I'll be showing you guys how to set up a tent. Before your camping adventure, it's important to check the weather and plan accordingly. So as you can see right now, it is beautiful out and I don't need to be prepared for rain, but it's always important just in case. So here I have a rain tarp to put over my tent. If it were to get rainy, I would be ready. Some more supplies you'll need for camping are a sleeping bag, and if you'd like a sleeping mat, or you could also use a sleeping mattress. Either works, but it comes down to what your preference is. Make sure you give yourself plenty of time to set up your tent and your campground so you're not rushing and you're able to enjoy yourself. Most of you guys, when you go camping, plan on building a campfire. So it's important that you make sure you get your firewood from your camping site, because if you transport firewood, that is a good way to bring diseases and pests such as the emerald ash borer to different locations, and that is definitely something we do not want. Another important aspect of camping is cooking and what you're going to do for your meals. It's important that you keep all of your food and your food supplies away from the tent, because that can attract animals and we don't want that. So for cooking while camping, it's important to bring another method of cooking your food aside from just a fire, because depending on the conditions, you may not always be able to have a fire. Here I have a propane tank that I would use for cooking while camping. It's important to make sure you bring the proper eating and cooking utensils so you're able to cook safely while camping. With a propane tank, it's important to bring a lighter or matches to start it, because unlike most cooking stoves, it doesn't have a spark that will get it going on its own. It's important to bring a lighter and matches to get your propane tank started, but it's also important so you can get a fire started. And I would recommend bringing your matches and lighter in a small waterproof bag, and I would also recommend bringing multiple methods of starting a fire. It's easy to think that while you're camping, you'll have constant fire to provide light for you during the night, but that's not always the case. So it's important to bring a headlamp and a light or a lantern to provide some light when you don't have a fire or the sun to keep things bright for you. Not all campgrounds have restrooms or ways to keep yourself clean, so it's important not to forget about hygiene. An easy way to keep yourself clean is some like wet wipes or hand sanitizer, and it's also important to brush your teeth. But an interesting thing to know is that animals are attracted to toothpaste and toothbrushes, so that's another thing that you should keep away from your campsite. When going camping, it is always good to prepare for the worst, and that's why bringing a first aid kit is always a great idea. You can pack your own first aid kits, or you can also purchase them pre-made. And honestly, I think buying them pre-made is a better deal because they have much of the supplies you need, and it is pretty cost effective. It's also important to bring bug spray and sunscreen so you can prevent any serious injuries from sunburn or major bug bites. You won't always have service to rely on your phone when you're camping. And when you first start, it is pretty easy to get lost sometimes. So it's important to have a way to find your way back to civilization, or to have them find you. So a compass and a whistle are a great way for others to find you and for you to find your way around nature. Before you go camping, it's important to let someone know where you will be camping. So if you do get seriously lost, they will know where to look to find you. And it is also important to stay put, so you do not use all of your resources or your energy, and they will be able to find you before anything too bad happens. One of the main reasons people go out camping is to enjoy nature and to get away from some of the things of civilization, and that includes trash. So it's important when you're camping to leave no trace, and that means leave only footsteps and take only memories. So to do that, it is important to bring trash bags along and make sure that you pick up all of your trash and don't take anything from nature other than memories, like I said. Another handy thing to bring along with you is a multi-tool. This is great to have whenever you need to cut, grab, or do whatever you need while you're camping, and each time you go, you'll find a new use for your multi-tool. The most important thing about going camping is to make sure you have fun and you enjoy the nature around you. I included just some helpful tips, but you can always add your own spin on things to make sure that it is your trip so you can do what you want. Be sure to like and subscribe on our Facebook and YouTube, as well as our Instagram. Thanks.